Welcome to Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. My name is Doug and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make an Easter appetizer. It's very traditional. It is deviled eggs. How can you go wrong? Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. So let's talk about the ingredients we're going to need to make our delicious traditional deviled eggs. Now, I've been making these deviled eggs for, gosh, more than 20 years now. And they're very easy to make. They're just your basic deviled eggs, nothing extra fancy, but they are so delicious. And I just like them like this. They're just so good. Depending on how many people are coming to your home for Easter, well, that's how many eggs you probably want to make. One egg really makes about 2 deviled eggs. So most people will have 2, some might have more. I know I do. But so maybe 2 eggs per person, which comes to like 4 little deviled eggs. So you might want to think about that. Today I'm only going to make 2. I'm going to show you the process from start to finish on how to make your basic traditional deviled eggs and share the spices that I'm going to use to flavor it up, and then we'll have a taste test. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're back. So what you want to do is you want to get a pot, like a saucepan here, and this is a medium-sized saucepan, and fill it with water. You want to leave some space from the top, and then you're just going to add your eggs to the water. Now this is how I do it. So I put it in the water and I put it on the flame, and it's on a medium to high flame. And once it starts bubbling, then I turn the flame down to a low, and then I cook it for around 5 to 7 minutes. That's how I make them. I know some people do it differently. They boil the water first and then they put the eggs in or something like that. But I've always done it this way and it works great for me. And so I'm just sharing the way I make it. So it's in the water and it's submerged in the water. We have our flame on a medium to high. And once that starts to boil, then we're going to lower it, like I said, and cook it for around 5 to 7 more minutes. Now, I'm using large eggs. You can use extra large eggs. It depends on what you want to do. Now, once the eggs are cooked, what we're going to do is let them cool. We're going to first leave them in the water for a bit, and then we are going to take them out, and we're going to submerge them in some cold water so they can cool down, and leave them there for a while. And then we're going to take off the shells. Now you got to be really careful when you take off the shells, and I'll show you how to do that. You basically, the way I do it is I just crack it a little bit and then I carefully take the shells off. And then you have your nice clean boiled egg, and then I will split it in half, take the yolks out, and then I'm going to make my mixture. Now when I make my mixture, I'm going to be using, I always use Hellmann's real mayonnaise. I love using spicy brown mustard. Very important. And then I add also a little Dijon mustard to it. Salt and pepper, of course. And then you want to top it with some Hungarian sweet, the one I always use Szeged brand, Hungarian sweet paprika. And then as a little garnish, put some chives on top. It looks beautiful, it tastes great, and I think you'll enjoy it. So as you can see, our water is boiling here. So what I do now is I lower the flame, and I'm going to let that cook for around 5 to 7 minutes on a low flame. Next, I'll run some cold water down the drain while I pour the boiling hot water. And then what you want to do is fill up that saucepan with the cold water and let your eggs sit in the cold water for around 5 minutes. You want to cool them off. Next, we're going to start to crack our eggs, and as you can see, I just tap it and then I gently peel off the shells. You want to do it gently because you don't want to mess up your egg. So just gently peel off all the shells, and I usually run it under some cold water too once I'm done, just to make sure there are no little pieces of the shell on the egg. Next, with a sharp knife, I'm just splitting the egg in half, and you just want to take out the egg yolk and add it to a bowl. That's going to be for our mixture that we're going to use to fill up our deviled eggs with. Next, we're going to work on the mixture. So we have our egg yolks, and now I'm going to add mayonnaise. Now for this amount, I'm using just 1 generous tablespoon. But depending on how much you make, you probably, just think of it as 2 eggs, 1 generous tablespoon. And then I like adding my spicy brown mustard. That's probably about a teaspoon. And then I'll add some Dijon mustard, and that's approximately a teaspoon too. So depending on how much you're making, you just want to increase that. So if you're making 4 eggs, probably like 2 teaspoons, if that makes sense. And then I'm adding a little bit of salt because the mayonnaise already has salt, and pepper. And just mix that up with a fork. Very simple. You want to blend it and mix it very well and make it nice and smooth. Okay, so it's been mixed, and now we're going to fill our eggs. And so you're just filling that little cavity part there in your egg, and just fill it, and that's all you do. It's very simple. And make sure it looks nice and neat. And then you'll top it with some Hungarian paprika, sweet paprika, and then chives. And you might want to even put a little parsley on it too to make it look pretty. And here they are. They look so pretty, and they taste so good. You're going to love them. So I hope you make them for Easter or any time of the year. They're just really great. Thank you so much for joining us today on Happy Healthy Living. And remember, if you want that homey vibe, you need to subscribe, and please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, happy healthy living and happy Easter. Bye-bye.